Today we're going to be going over how to install the Ethernet module on the Tetra2Go controller. First things first, you're going to want to navigate to the RGB2Go website, rgb2go.com, and from here locate the Resources tab, under which you will find the written instructions for installing the Ethernet module. Now, one of the first things you need to do is we're going to need to reflash this controller. Since the vanilla version of WLAD does not include Ethernet support, we're going to have a flash a version that has the Ethernet support built into it. This will overwrite all the settings on your device, so make a backup of your configuration if that's not okay. So once you're there, click on this link to download the latest version of the firmware. That'll take you to a Google Drive. You'll see all the available firmwares for the Tetra. You're going to want the one ending in -ETH. You'll see the current production version is 0.14.4. I also have 0.15 available. Just know that's fairly new and has not really been 100% vetted yet, but it's there if you wanted to give it a try. So download the one you wish. And you're also going to need to download the software required to flash your controller. Now, Windows and Mac will not automatically see the ESP32 unless you've installed the serial driver. The serial driver can be found by following this link and downloading the appropriate files. The CP210X VCP driver for Windows or Mac, and ESP Home Flasher for Windows or Mac. Download both of those and install it. But once those are installed, you can then proceed. Now, it looks like I've got power attached, but I've got these connected to a power supply that is turned off. You're going to want to make sure that you have no power to your device. And when no power is attached to your device, we're going to connect the USB header to your PC. Heard that little audio? The little bell from Windows saying that it detected a new device. That's good. If you did not get that, or if you received an error on your desktop, it's most likely because the drivers did not install properly. So now that the device is detected and the drivers are installed, we're going to run the ESP Home Flasher utility. We're going to choose the correct COM port. In my case, there's only one listed. We'll choose the proper firmware. Again, in this case, I'm using the 14.4-F. And we click the flash button. This will take about 30 seconds or so. Once the progress meter gets to 100%, we'll be all set. Perfect. So, flashing is complete. We can close ESP Home Flasher. We're going to remove the power to the Tetra, and we're going to carefully install the module. As you'll notice, I have a little semicircle here cut out onto the display. Just to show you the orientation, here's the actual module itself with the same half circle cut out of it. There are 8 pins on each side. Make sure no pins are overhanging. Each of the holes in the header should be occupied by a pin when we're done, and push straight down. Okay. Let me add some pixels here as well, just for effect. And now we're going to introduce power to the Tetra. There we go. And the lights are turning amber like they should on a vanilla installation. It's important to note now that the Ethernet controller, while installed, is not configured yet. There are some steps we need to do for that. The easiest way to do this is to grab a mobile device, like a cell phone or a tablet, and search for the access point that's generated by the device. In this case, it's the WLAD Tetra2Go-ETH. Once we've connected to that, a web browser will open. And we're going to go to Wi-Fi settings. Scroll down until you get to AP opens and set that to always. What that's going to do is allow the built-in access point to function even after you've connected it to another network. That way, in case there's any configuration problems, you can still get into the device to make a change. Then scroll down until Ethernet type. This is new. This is not present with the vanilla firmware. This is what we've just added. We're going to choose that drop-down and choose the ESP32DEUX Ethernet type, and then press Save and Connect. While that's reloading, we'll look at our controller, and we'll note that the green LED is now solid. And we don't need to restart the controller. We can just add the Ethernet cable to it. And if your Ethernet cable is properly connected to your network, you should start seeing your link lights. The amber link light will turn solid, and the green light will start flashing with activity. That's a good indication that you are properly connected to your home network. Now, once again, connect back via your tablet and go to Wi-Fi settings. Again, this is still working because we left that setting to always. And now we'll notice it shows the client IP address with Ethernet in parentheses afterwards. That means that you are now connected via your Ethernet. And it is as simple as browsing a web browser to that IP address. In our case, it's 10.1.1.152. And there we have it. We can play around with the colors, make sure the lights are responding the way they should via Ethernet, and they are. Now it's important to note that you can go back into your Wi-Fi setup, and you can also choose a static IP address if you'd like. Typically, you may also choose a static IP address if you'd like, for those who wish the address to not be dynamic and change. Make sure you enter in the static address here. And even if you don't plan on using the internet, make sure you enter a gateway. I believe there is a limitation of WLED that does require a gateway to be set when you are setting a static IP address. And there you have it. Your Tetra2Go Ethernet controller is now installed and configured and working properly. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I will try to get those as quickly as I can. Aside from that, I'll see you at the next video. Thanks.